Okay, in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use set-driven key. In set-driven key, with the set-driven key window, you can link objects so that one object's attributes can drive or dictate the attribute of another object. You should define that the object with the attribute you want to be driven. And then also you should define that the object with attribute you want to act as the driver. You like to see his hand gripping something, some objects. You should rotate all his fingers. By the way, he has actually 4 fingers instead of 5 fingers. You need to rotate each joint like this. Index, middle fingers, and then ring and thumb, so on. So it's gonna take quite a long time. I've got another huge controllers around his chest. And then another one right here. Okay, the reason why we like to use set-driven key for this character is that in this case, so as you can see, here is controller. So if you move that controller, all the fingers and including those joint number 5 joint will follow this controller. Okay, I want this controller to act as driver, and then I want the rest of the joint inside of his fingers to be driven by the driver. Okay, that's the kind of relationship. We need to go to modify and then add attribute. Let's go, just type index finger, and you don't have to worry about this data type and the attribute type, and go to numeric attribute properties, and you will see minimum, maximum, and default. Basically, you can type whatever number that you can easily remember. It's really arbitrary, the numbers. Like for instance, you can just type negative 10. This will be like a negative 10 indicate like a minimum value. And also I'm going to type the 10 positive 10, that indicates maximum value. So remember this one, default 0. And then as soon as I click this add, let's go to our channel box. So all we can see right now on the channel box are like translate, rotate, and scale and visibility. So as soon as you click on this add button, you should see index finger. So let me click on this. So now you should see index, and then you will see the attribute and properties is 0. That is default. That is default. Now we can close this one. So okay, so now we are about establishing the relationship between this driver and the driven element. And the next step, we need to go to animation, the modeling, rigging, animation, and then you will see key menu, set driven key, and select the set, and it will open a new dialog window. In the set driven key, select this controller. This is a driver, and I want you to pay attention on at the bottom of the set driven key window, load driver, load driven, and then you will see it close. So we are making this guy as a driver. So I already selected this, and then of course we should click on this in the driver, not driven. This will be a driver. So I'm going to click on this road driver. All right. Okay, so there are 2 in the window. As you can see, this is driver window and this is driven window. On the right you see translate and then rotate and scale, and this one index. As you can see, this index. So next step is we need to make all these 4 joint as a driven element. So you should click and select this index. Click 1, hold down shift 2, See, this is the kind of problem always that really, annoying. So I wanted to actually, select this joint 3 joint only, but I accidentally select this body. So in order to avoid this kind of issues, you select your character, and we are already in channel box and the layers. Create layer from selected. You can reference this. So now you are not able to click and select this character anymore because this one is referenced. Okay, now I'm gonna select this key again. 1, 2, 3 index, and then click on this word driven. So now we should see here's a joint 12, joint 13, and joint 14. I didn't include the very last one, joint 15. See, there are 3 in a joint. This will be driven by this driver. Okay, now we're gonna make this index fingers gripping all the way down like this, gripping something like this. So if you go to the channel box, you see rotate. We have 3 axes in X, Y, Z. So this is rotate X, and you may just test it. Say this is wrong actual axis, and rotate Y. This is also wrong axis. Rotate Z. This is the right axis, right? So you wanna make the his index fingers. Okay, gripping something like this. So the joint we already highlighted. Joint 12, 13, and 14. 1, 2, 3 in a joint, as well as we have to select this one. Rotate Z. And then let's go back to our driver, and you should make sure that the value of index finger must be 0, and rotate 0. Okay, key that, and then select this driver. Now I'm gonna type 10. That's maximum value, maximum value. And then I'm gonna go to rotate Z, highlight all 3 in a joint, and then I'm gonna rotate like this. 62, negative 62, something like this, and then key that. So let me select that's kind of maximum value. So if you select this controller, you should see the maximum index value, say 10. So which means when you set the index value 10, you will see his index finger gripping all the way down, something like this. 0. Okay, so now it's this. Go to 0, so not negative. And then 0, you will see straight index finger. 10. What about the 5 in the middle? In between 0 and 10, so about 5.2. Okay, the position of index finger looks like this, all the way down. Say 10, something like that. 0, like this. So what if you like to negative value, like a negative 5, minimum value was negative 10. So I'm going to use negative 5 is negative 10, and then let's go to rotate Z. Okay, and then I'll highlight all this 3. And what I like to do, I like to fingers rotate the other side, something like this. Yeah, so there's no, don't try to break his fingers, but just to go the other side a little bit. Yeah, fingers are flexible. Yeah. And then key that. Alright, so I'm gonna select this, my index. Okay, driver again. See, when you have negative 5 for this index finger, and you will see this kind of curve, kind of a subtle, this nice curve. Okay, let's do this. This is maximum 10. So about 2, 1, 0, and then negative 5. See? it. Okay, let's repeat this. So let's do middle fingers. Before this, what I like to do, go to index, and then let me type 0. Right. So go to modify, add attribute, and long name, okay, middle finger, and minimum -10, maximum +10, default must be, and it's 0. And so now we should say middle here. And then let's make one more since we're here. So modify, add attribute, and this will be ring, and minimum -10, maximum just a 10, default 0, add. So now we should see index, middle, and the ring. Okay. Driver. Need to go to key, set driven key, and then I'm gonna click on this driven, and this should be driver. There we go. Now you should see index, middle, ring finger, 3 fingers. See, so we already done with the index 1. Now we're gonna do this middle, finger. Highlight middle finger. You want to just click. Looks like we selected everything, but actually not. See, it's gonna be like this. See, so you should select each joint individual. Hold down Shift, say 2 and 3, so that you can make a nice curve. See, stuff like this. All right. After this, I highlighted middle, and this will be new driven elements of this driver, and then load driven. Now we see join 8, say join 9, and join 10. And then select this, rotate Z. Driver. This is middle finger. Middle finger, and the attribute value. Middle finger's values must be 0. And key that, and then click this driver. I'm going to type the maximum value under 10, and then go to rotate Z. Before that, we have to highlight it. Yeah, we highlight this to join here. This keyframe that indicate a keyframe. And then I'm going to rotate it. Okay, this. And the key that. Okay, we just added the 2 keyframe for this middle finger. So now I'm gonna go back to my driver and the middle finger. So look at this, middle finger's value is 10. So then you will see the curve. All right, see 0. Middle finger 0, you will see straight middle finger. 10, curve. 0, 10, 0, 10. And then if you like to animate both fingers simultaneously, just highlight both, and then you can animate something like this. Okay, let's do the last one. Ring fingers. Ring, and then 3, ring, the driver, and the ring, and road driven. Now you should see 4, 5, 6. Okay, 3 joints here. And first of all, click and select the driver. Must be 0 because we see it comes straight, the ring finger here, small finger. And then I'm gonna key that. But before this, we have to define which direction, which axis we like to rotate this. Of course, we already tested before. Z axis is the right one, and I'm gonna select this, rotate Z, and the value is 0, and I'm gonna key that. Okay, 0, straight, and then go to driver. Maximum value, 10. Okay, and then go to rotate Z, and then you should highlight this 1 2 3 joint, and then you should see blue bar on the rotate Z. We already added a new keyframe on this rotate Z, and then change this value to like a negative 15 or something like that, and then key that. Okay, we added 2 keyframes on here, one for 0 rotate Z and the one for negative 50. And then so I'm gonna drive again, and the ring here, currently the ring value is 10, so 10 and 0, 10 0. So if you like to animate all those three, so I'm gonna go highlight the index, middle, and ring. So here is but what if you like to make actual the animation that you can watch by clicking this play button. So go to highlight index, middle, and the ring, and then right click, you can select this key selected. So now you see red bar on this index, middle, and ring. That means we have created the initial keyframes for all those 3 fingers. So see, look right here. So you should see a red line here. So and then I'm gonna go to like a frame 12, something like this, and then highlight all those 3, change the value 10, right? See, and then you should notice that the Maya has created and the second keyframe for all those 3 fingers, because my auto keyframe toggle was on. So now see, it's something like this. If you like to repeat that, like for instance, we're gonna copy this and go to frame 20 and something like that, and paste, and you will see that third keyframe here. See what this. So if you like to repeat more, of course you can copy this keyframe and then paste in like around this 28 or 30s, or what you can do, go to window and animation and graphic editor. So let's say you want to repeat this. Let's just highlight all this, say 1 2 3 keyframes, and then you can repeat this. So here is post infinity in a cycle, post infinity in a cycle. So let me click this. Alright, so now do you think you can see 2 different animations simultaneously? Yep. So this is driver. What if I drag something like this? Okay, now what's this? Alright, see, it's a keyframe. I'm gonna go like a frame 50 and go something like this. So, and I'm gonna make another keyframe.